Welcome back. You're still watching Buy Now Sell.
Alright, Biocon, bring that stock up for you. Obviously, we've seen the results also recently, and we've got the management with us, Ms. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, who's also joining us right now. Ms. Shaw, thanks so very much for joining us and being a part of ET Now right now. Just there has been a recent acquisition in Malaysia. Could you throw some more light on that, and how big is that for Biocon post Pfizer?
Well, this is about a strategic direct investment in Malaysia, where we are putting up a large biomanufacturing and research facility in Johor. And this is also, in the first phase, we will be investing something like 500 million ringgit, or about 160 million US dollars. And this is to really set up as a part of our Pfizer deal. The first phase also involves the setting up of an insulin facility in Malaysia that will also balance the facility that we have in India.
Ms. Shaw, if you could just give us an insight into this acquisition as to when it will be operational by?
It's not an acquisition, it's an investment. It's a new greenfields project that we're setting up in Malaysia.
Right, Ms. Shaw. Right, go ahead.
This will be hopefully commissioned by 2013.
All right.
Over the next 3 years.
All right. Could you also give us a little bit more details as to what kind of R&D exactly is going to be undertaken here in terms of your BioXcel and some custom-built biotechnology park? Is that regarding to that?
No, this will pertain to some of our immediate, interests in researching our own programs, largely related to kind of new process developments and things like that.
And the investment here that you spoke about, is this a phase of investments, or we will be taking on more such investment in tranches, or this is a one-time investment that you're making?
No, this is the first phase, as I mentioned, and there will be obviously future investments involved as well, but we will basically take that call when we complete the first phase.
And how much, just as a ballpark figure, just if you could give us for R&D particularly, how much are you trying to set aside this time around, going forward for yourself at Biocon?
Well, I think the overall budget in Biocon for this year is about 150 to 180 crores for this fiscal. And then, of course, going forward, it is likely to be, a little more than that.
All right. And any particular other geographies that you'd probably be looking at?
Right now, we are operating in other geographies. One is, of course, Germany, one is the UAE, and now this is the third country where we're really looking at investing, which is Malaysia.
All right. Ms. Shaw, just one more word from you regarding your entire going forward from here. Just a little bit of a word coming in for the Pfizer deal as well. Any other additional efforts from your end to make sure the deal goes on through well, and it's, the synergies for both Pfizer and yourself are met without any hindrances from all angles?
Well, I think, this has been a very well thought out strategic partnership with Pfizer. I think everything is in place to make sure that we implement every aspect of that partnership flawlessly as possible. And I think as a company, we are certainly, very committed to our business model of investing in innovation-led research and creating a research engine that can be unlocked periodically in the manner we've done with Pfizer.
Can you talk a little bit more about more tie-ups in the biosimilar segments for you?
Well, we've had one arrangement. As the first, as you know, we announced with Mylan, and the second one is with Pfizer. So these are two very important strategic partners for us, and I think we will really look at making sure that we deliver on both these partnerships.
Right, and with respect to your focus on R&D as well as production of biosimilars, if you could just highlight what other plans are on the anvil as far as this is concerned?
Biosimilars is an area where there is an emerging markets opportunity to begin with, and then there is a large opportunity in developed world markets, especially in Europe and USA. And this is the way we are approaching the development of biosimilars. It is an expensive business because the development of biosimilars and the manufacturing of biosimilars is not as simple, and in terms of capital expenditure, it does demand a lot more than small molecule generics. So I don't think this is everybody's cup of tea. I don't expect there to be too many companies who will be active in this space. So I think we do see ourselves as playing a very significant role in the area of biosimilars, with very few, entrenched players, so to speak, over a period of time.
Ms. Shaw, just a word from you. Obviously, this is a big tie-up for you with Pfizer. And going forward, you spoke about how you're well equipped to take on this kind of a deal. But going forward, just in case you said this is going to be a big kickoff for you come 2015 when the US market also opens up in a big way for you. At that point, do you think that the milestone payments of $150 million that you will be receiving is some bit of a cap? Or do you think that revenue, according to the revenues that you will start making, the benefits will also start pouring in for Biocon?
I must clarify that the $150 million milestones pertain to a number of regulatory and development milestones. So it's not a one-time milestone at the end of 2015. The other thing is, we also have stated that we will be receiving additional sales-linked payments. So this is obviously another large component of our ongoing, commercialization benefits that Biocon will receive from Pfizer.
Right, and you have also mentioned that this synergy with Pfizer is going to be rather significant for both you as well as for Pfizer. If you could just highlight a little bit more about the kind of opportunities that you will garner post this deal.
Well, all I can do is to put the sort of, perspective in place in terms of dimensioning the biosimilar insulins opportunity. Today insulins is a very large segment. It occupies about 35% of the diabetes drugs and devices segment. And insulins alone account for about $14 billion in terms of the value part of this segment. And insulins are growing at about 10%. And this therefore sort of allows you to gauge the kind of market opportunity when many of the insulins go off patent. And that's the 2015 timeline that we're talking about. So we do expect to address a pretty significant market. And we expect to take a pretty sizable chunk of that particular biosimilars space. So I think we do feel that this is a large opportunity for both Pfizer and Biocon.
Right, Ms. Shaw, if we could just dwell on your plans for oral insulin out-licensing going forward for Biocon, if you could just outline that for us.
Well, I have explained in the recent past that oral insulin is a very important program for us, and we believe that we have learned a lot from many of our licensing deals with both Mylan and Pfizer, where we realized that partners want global opportunities, and therefore if you really want to unlock high value from any of our programs, we do need to address these as global opportunities. And therefore the original plan of having an India first strategy has been shelved. So given that, I think we are basically developing oral insulin as a global program where we will need to do a number of additional clinical trials under the US IND so that we can actually unlock the high value that we think it can garner. So we basically believe that we will get into licensing discussions, but it will take a little bit of time before we do that, since we do have to conduct a few of these trials.
Ms. Shaw, just one final word regarding this particular deal. Everything seems to be going well in line and well in tandem, but everything along with that, even regulatory approvals and like regulatory clearances, that's not of a concern right now?
Well, certainly, there are going to be, uncertainties about regulatory approvals. For instance, whilst Europe has been fairly clear about its guidelines on biosimilars, the US still hasn't, shown any clarity in terms of what their guidelines are going to be. Having said that, we believe that insulins can try and gain regulatory approval under the 505(b)(2) route. But having said that, since biosimilars is a new area even in the US, we will have to make sure that we play it by ear and make sure that we do things in a way that will get us regulatory approval.
All right, Ms. Shaw, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining us and clarifying all those details for us, and also on that Malaysian acquisition that's happened there. Focusing on R&D this time around as well. Biocon, they're up about 2% a trade. 440 rupees is where the counter is currently trading. On that note, take a small short break. We'll be back to discuss more stocks on Buy Now, Sell Now, so stay tuned.